Many governments are calling on citizens to practice social distancing to varying success. My colleague Gerald spoke to psychologist Wendy Dickinson and asked, why is it so hard to get people to isolate?
We are social creatures. We are wired for connection. And so to hear these scary messages about how we have to distance really challenges the way that we're wired. I think if we could change the messaging and talk about physical distancing rather than social distancing with the idea that there are still ways to connect relationally, we'd be a lot better off. And I imagine that people would be more compliant and willing to go along with it.
So what advice do you have then for people to be, as you call it, physically distant and, to stay sane and not slip into depression, for instance?
Absolutely. I think that we need to look for ways to connect. So there are opportunities. I was talking to a colleague about how different this experience would have been if it had been 10 years ago and technology wasn't what it is now. So we can leverage technology, social media, video conferencing, cell phones. You can also write a letter. When we had times of war in our history, we would write letters to people who were deployed. So I think letter writing, drawing a picture, mailing it to somebody, and then the old-fashioned standing out in your driveway and talking to your neighbor from 6 feet apart, or standing on your balcony and talking to your neighbor from an apartment building. I think there are a lot of ways that we can connect. It's really about being creative.
I'm glad you also brought up technology because, in fact, some people say not only is it helping to ease some of the pain of this distancing, but it's brought some people closer together, albeit virtually.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the pictures that I'm seeing in my social media feed about people having group game nights over Zoom or another video conferencing platform. I called my nephew the other night to FaceTime, and he read me a book over social media. We're taking time to do things that we wouldn't normally have time to do in our busy, fast-paced schedules. So there really is an opportunity here to spend more time connecting with people.